let us start with ingate. It is an it lies between the runner and cavity. So it is important part to uh, increase the velocity of your molten metal so that your material can reach to the complex shape of your component. So if you see the different types of an gate, you can also call it as an ingate or gate. So there are three types basically there are three types. There is top gate, bottom gate and side gate, and another is an parting line gate. So let us see one by one. So in top gate you will see this figure. So this is a drag part which is downward. This is a cope. This is a cavity present. This is a parting line which separates the top half, bottom half, or you can call drag and cope of your mold. This is a sprue. This is a pouring basin. So if you see, a sprue is directly connected into the cavity, and here you will find out there will be a gate. So as you pour the molten metal into the sprue, it will be directly feed into the cavity. So in this case, what disadvantage you get here, as it has direct contact with the cavity, molten metal goes directly into the cavity. There will be a turbulence flow, and due to the turbulence flow, there will be an erosion, as well as due to uh, directly material is feeding into the cavity, you will find out that there will be air aspiration effect will be taking place. So air aspiration effect that we have seen in previous slide. Then so top gate also gives a good temperature gradient, that is material flow to the critical areas of your. So let us see the another one, that is at bottom gate. So in bottom gate you will find out that when you pour a molten metal, it will travel through sprue, then through ingate, which is present at the bottom of the half, that is in drag side, and it will fill the cavity from the bottom. So here at initially up to a parting line, material will be flowing uh, uh, means bottom half will be filled rapidly, and later on, as due to the gravity effect, it will be filling the top side of your cavity gradually. So this will reduce the effect of an turbulence and will reduce the effect of an erosion, but it will be not used for the deep cavity shape. So if your component has more depth, this kind of an uh, ingate cannot be used. So if you see to if you want now both advantages, that is of top gate and bottom gate in that is at the same time, then you can use the parting gate. So in parting gate, the gate will be present exactly at the exactly between the drag and cope side. So here you can see the figure. So this is a in-gate position where this will be a sprue, this will be the cavity, this will be the drag side, this will be the cope side. Sorry, this should be the cope side and this should be the drag side. Here this notation is the wrong one. You make it this as an drag, this as an cope. Always remember that the down side will be the drag, that is D. D stands for down, so you can remember in that way. So here again cavity will be filled, bottom cavity will be filled rapidly, and here the molten metal will be filling uh, gradually. So most of time this kind of an ingate are mostly used in uh, practical purpose, that is in shop floor. So it is simplest in nature and construction and have benefits of both ingate, that is top and bottom. Another is an side gate. So if you have a large volume of a plate which need to be cast, so if you have seen the base of your drilling machine, milling machine, or a bed. So those are all made by a casting process. So if you have that kind of an large volume component, then you can use a side in gate. So here you can see this is a runner, this is a sprue, uh, where you can feel the molten metal, then it will pass through this runner, and through runner a gate will be connected to the cavity. So when you pour molten metal, the bottom part will be filling. After filling the bottom part through this gate number 2, you consider this as an 1, 2 and 3. So 1 will be filling the bottom side, 2 will be filling the middle side, and 3 will be filling the topmost side. So at a time you will be getting filling your cavity equally, so you can get good directional solidification, because in case of an large volume casting there might be a chance of an cold shut defects or more shrinkage defects. So those can be reduced by using a side gate. Now let us see another concept related to gating system, that is uh, non-pressurized and pressurized. So generally gating system is classified in two way. One is a non-pressurized gating system and another is a pressurized gating system. So in non-pressurized gating system you will find out that the atmospheric pressure of an molten metal in this space and to the environment, it will be remaining the same, as there will be no pressure into a molten metal. It is called as an non-pressurized gating system. And what concept you have to remember? The pressure at the environment of a molten metal is equal to the pressure of molten metal into the this space number 2, that is at the sprue of the bottom. So you can consider one as an space in the environment, which we use this space will be used for pouring molten metal, and after pouring it will be getting filled to this bottom first at the sprue bottom. So this will be the space 2. So if you consider the condition of space 1 and space 2, you can apply the Bernoulli's equation, as the energies like pressure, kinetic energy, datum is equal at point 1 as well as point 2. So you can in the form of Bernoulli's equation you can write in this way, that is P1 upon rho g plus V1 upon 2g plus Z1. So this term is related to the condition at point 1, and another is P2 upon rho g plus V2 upon 2g plus Z2. So this condition is related to the point 2. So now in this case, P is the pressure, rho is the density, V is an velocity. So if you see this term, now in this case we are interested to find out the values like pouring time, that is what time you require to fill this cavity, then that is what will be the exact velocity of flowing a molten metal. So once you get the velocity of flowing a molten metal, you can find out the pouring time, so that you can reduce defect like cold shut, and you can fill the cavity before solidifying the cavity part. So using this condition you can see that this term is related to one space, this term is related to bottom space. So we are as there is atmospheric pressure is same in space 1 and space 2, you can cancel the terms of pressure from both sides. Here the velocity at V1 uh, at initial stage it will be 0, and at the bottom, as due to the gravity, it will be uh, increased. So here V2 will be remaining same, as there is having some velocity, as we are interested to find out this term, that is velocity at this point. Then height, to consider this as an datum, it is Z1. At datum height will be 0. At this space you will be having some value of an height at datum 1. So as it Z2 will be the 0 at this point, so you make it 0, and Z1 will be having some particular value, you make that term as it is. So here you can write down that height is equal to V2 square upon 2g, where V2 will be the velocity at the bottom. Then as we are interested to find out the velocity at 2, because further you can, by using this velocity, you can find out the pouring time. So you can write down V2 is equal to what? V2 square is equal to height into 2g. Then you can write down, you can take V2 as an under root 2gh, where h is the height of the sprue in mm and g is the gravitational force, that is 9.81 meter per second. So if you are putting this height value in mm, you make this gravitational term into, instead of meter, you make it as an mm. So you have to write it as an 9810 mm per square. Remember this concept. Many of you forgot to convert this term. Or you can keep, if you are writing this in meter, you convert this height term into meter, so you will get the exact value of the velocity at the bottom. So what we can write down pouring time, you can pouring time will be volume divided by discharge, that is whatever the volume present into the cavity, if you divide it by the discharge, that is q, you will get the pouring time. So q, you have to, q will be what? Velocity into area of an cross sectional. So here you have to take a cross sectional area of what? So you have a cross sectional area of sprue, you have a cross sectional area of run, you have cross sectional area of gate. So from these three, whatever the area is less, that area you have to take as an cross sectional area, and that area is called as an choke area. So your pouring time formula becomes volume divided by velocity into cross sectional area. So this is a pouring time. Then pressurized gating system. So whatever the concept right now we have seen, it was non-pressurized gating system. In pressurized gating system, you will find out that here you have to apply an external force on a molten metal, so that there will be a pressure difference between the space 2 and space 1. So you have to use some mechanical equipments to, or piston you can use to force that molten metal into the cavity, and due to that you will find out that there will be a more aspiration effect and erosion of the sand is more. So for this type of an pressurized gating system is used for permanent die casting mold, that we'll see further, but you just remember that pressurized gating system will be used for permanent die casting. That in that case, instead of sand you will be using metal, and in metal metal parts will be used instead of sand. So here there is another concept, what should be the optimum ratio for pressurized gating system. So it is 1:2:1 or 3:2:1. So what is this 1:2:1 or 3:2:1? So here 1 will be the cross sectional area of sprue, then runner, and then inget. Or if you want a pressurized gating system, your cross sectional area ratio should be what? Of sprue, runner, and gate should be 3, 2, and 1. So cross sectional area of the sprue is more compared to the runner, and of a runner it is more compared to the inget. So this should be the condition, then and then only you will be getting a pressurized gating system. So in next slide we will see defects in casting. So for today, thank you.